Is there any chance Shakopee is the number 1 seed? Who Minnetonka's lost to Rogers?
No, because they beat us heads up.
Oh, you did play Minnetonka.
Yeah, we played Minnetonka the third game of the year.
Okay.
They won 3-0, so yeah, they have the nod. Okay. And a better record too, so. Yeah. All right, we are in an ice-cold cement box known as White Bear Lake here. New rink for me anyway. I've never been in this rink, so if you not a lot of tall ceilings here, so it's gonna be a fun little atmosphere. So Sabres playing the Bears from White Bear Lake. This is the second meeting. We did play them in the Edina Invitational Tournament. Can't remember the score. Emily, remember? I'm going to say 5-2. Okay, all right, 5-2 lost that game. I think Shakopee did outshoot them that game. So there are a few players I think we were out during that tournament too that are back. Some were in or out. So we are going to get started with Gabrick, O'Neill, and Hema together here in the forward lines, and Schmeek and Schmitz on D. This will be the last game of the season for the Sabres before we hit district playoffs. So hopefully this is kind of a little warm-up game to get ready, because that'll be on Tuesday. So the puck's down. White Bear's going to win the draw. They are content to just dump it into the zone and chase. Schmitz gets there, gets a stick on it. Tries to get it out. All battling here right on the half wall here. Schmieg will get to it and just try to center it. O'Neill chips it out. O'Neill takes a hit. He's a little bit stung there a little bit there. He's going to come off. Did not like that hit. Valverde came in for him. He's going to chase. Jack doing a good job in the forecheck, trying to not let White Bear get out of the zone clean. As soon as they do, turned over in the neutral zone by Williamson, but he loses the puck. White Bear will walk it in. Smith tries to step up and give a hit. He gets hit. And then all right, icing waved off. And the puck gets loose to Williamson's stick. He just lost the handle. Had an opportunity. White Bear's going to now come out of the zone. Cross-ice pass. They're going to dump it in. Number 6 on the forecheck they get on it first, but he's just going to dump it right to Scott. Scott has it. Patient, trying to find a lane. Valverde gets turned over there in the neutral zone. Scott will battle on the corner. Valverde helping. Puck gets out. Scott and Lancette both go to it. Lancette will get it out. We're just going to chip it right back in the zone here. Williamson has it. Over to Scott. He's got room to walk out. He's going to chip it up to Fitz, who just dumps in the zone. We'll change out 4 on the fly. Anderson and Hensley now out there with O'Neill, Wags, and Schmeeker on D. So Lancette steps up. He turns him over. He's going to chip it over to O'Neill. We got a little bit of a rush here. O'Neill's going to dump it in. It gets a rebound. Hensley tried to step up. A good play by White Bear Lake to lift the stick to Hensley. Took the opportunity away. O'Neill loses an edge there at center ice and gives a nice little hit. White Bear will walk into the zone. He's going to trip on the blue line by himself. Wags will get to it. Wags with a little body and O'Neill down there, or Anderson, excuse me. They're going to get up top of the D. He loses the handle, comes up the zone. They got to regroup. We'll change out 2 forwards, 3 forwards on the fly. White Bear's going to rush in. Good back check there by Fitzgerald to come in. Sabres have it. Wiggs on the half wall. Tries to chip it back to Gabrick. He does. Schmitz will step up into the play. He's going to gain the center ice and chip it in the zone. Good to see we got Hema back out on the ice. So here comes White Bear with speed into the zone. Scott on him. He skates behind the net looking for someone to pass to. They center it. Not able to connect, and the puck comes out of the zone. Sabres will chase. Clean game where I don't think I've had a whistle yet. This has just been kind of back and forth play so far. We're almost 4 minutes into the first period. Fitz is going to chip it in deep. Emma will chase. He's got Valverde out there with him now. Keeps it back in the zone. Emma's got an opportunity. Shot never got through. Defenseman took that one off the shin pad. Sabres doing a good job keeping this puck in the zone right now. O'Neill behind the net. He's getting bodied off, but the puck comes loose. Cuts out to the top. Scott's going to shoot, fire. Glove save. So we finally have a whistle. We all can take a breath for a second. 11 minutes to go in the first. Hoping Hem is fine, because right after he shot that one, it looked like something didn't feel good, and he came off right away. Yeah. All right, Williamson, Valverde, O'Neill out there with Wagner, Lancette, and Wagner. White Bear gets the puck with the net. He's going to look to just take it all the way up himself. He's got a lot of speed going. He's going to cut middle. Never got on net. Went into the corner. We got 3 guys that are battling. Wiggs is just trying to get a little poke check, get that puck out. O'Neill gets it, chips it up. Williamson does just enough to get it out of the zone, and he's got speed. Not able to get to it. White Bear gets their possession, but O'Neill pressures. Feet moving on this kid here, but he gets poke checked by Anderson. Great stick to lift it and turn the puck over. Tries to center it to O'Neill, gets through, but Lancette steps up into the play. White Bear now has it. They're looking to escape. They're going to do a little cross-ice pass. Didn't connect. Lancette has it. He's going to rush himself right now into the zone. He's going to fire. Off target. Hits the backboard. Comes out. And White Bear is going to try to transition this into offense. Fumbles with it. Good. Just enough of a body there by Anderson and Fitzgerald. White Bear just kind of threw the puck away. And Shakopee is going to have a 2-on-1 opportunity. Schmieg over to Fitz. Just bounced over his stick. Would have had a good opportunity for a shot. And the puck stays in the zone. Turnover by Hensley. He gets a shot. Glove come down. Smith's bounced over his stick. He does a good job getting back. Took the rush away from White Bear as he fumbled the puck. Gabriel does a good job turning it over. Tries to chip it up into the zone. He does get it fired in there. Kind of a bouncing puck in the last few seconds here. Smith will throw it in deep. Right on Gabriel's stick. He turns and shoots. Great save by White Bear goalie there. I'm not sure if there was a change for White Bear or what, but Schmitz put it into Gabriel, who's in front of the goalie all by himself. Not a White Bear guy there. He was able to make a move and shoot, but the goalie did a good job freezing it. So we'll change out a few lines here. Hema, Gabriel, O'Neill out there with Scott and Lancette. 9 minutes to go in the first. White Bear wins the draw. They ring it all the way around the boards. Trying to flee one winger. They do. O'Neill goes through. Poke check by Scott. Gabriel does a good job just kind of cleaning up the mess there. And Scott's going to chip it up to Hema. Hema's got a little bit of a breakaway. Got on his backhand. He wasn't able to get a clean shot on net. Shot it behind the goal, and now White Bear is going to try to escape out of the zone here. Scott will try to get a stick on it. Good backhand there. But save, second save. So Tam made the first one there. Second shot went down to the corner. Shocking now. O'Neill wears one off the shin pad. He goes down. Good block shot there. Scott has it behind the net. Looking for options. He gets bodied off the puck. And now White Bear's got a dangerous opportunity here. They're going to walk in on the dot, shoot over the net, but they're going to keep it in the zone. Shakopee needs to get a change here. We're down 7 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the first. Valverde with it. Stops, turns, chips over to Scott. Up to O'Neill. O'Neill's going to just do a little soft pass to Valverde centering. He's going to rush up with 4 guys. The other 4 guys are going to change. Valverde does a good job keeping the puck in the zone, letting his other teammates get in. And Schmidt steps up in the play. He rings it around over to Wagner. Goes around, Wiper has it. They try to chip out of the zone. They got a little bit of an opportunity here. Back check by Wiggs. He steps up. No shot opportunity for White Bear there. Shakopee cleaned that up well. And now they're behind the net. Wiggs has it, trying to fleet up the Fitz. One off the wall, and White Bear now has it. Makes a move around Anderson. They're just going to chip it in. Schmitz will get to it. He'll give it up to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald tries to give it to Anderson. Fitz wears a big hit in the back, and we're going to have a penalty on White Bear. Fitz chipped it up to Anderson, and about 2 seconds later, wore a cross-check in the back. Ref was right there to see it, so they're going to call a penalty. 6:41 to go in the first. Sabres will go on the power play. Emma O'Neill, Gabriel Schmieg, and Scott will be your 5 power play unit. Gabriel takes the draw. Shakopee wins it, has up top. Hema's up there. He goes down to the far corner. 2 Wiper guys came up and pressured up top really quickly. Up there not letting Shakopee get set up. On the half wall, back down to Gabriel, not ready for it. Schmeek has it, he centers it, loose puck. White Bear's going to try to just ship out of the zone. They do. They got a bouncing puck, but the speed of O'Neill comes in, takes the opportunity away. And we got an arm in the air for a tripping penalty. But the speed of O'Neill was very noticeable. That was a 1-on-0 breakaway. And it only took O'Neill 4 to strike. Unfortunately, I think his stick just got a little. So we have 4-on-4 for 132. White Bear wins the draw. Top of the circle. They try to fire it in. Goes off the back glass. Schmeek does a good job turning him over. He's got time. Again, we're 4-on-4 hockey. Good job by Scott to kind of screen. And now Schmeek's got some speed going with the zebra tape on the stick, it looks like. He's going to put it down low. Scott will try to get in there and get to it. White Bear's going to chip it up. It's going to go right on Hema's stick. Tries to make a move around the first guy, and it gave out an opportunity for White Bear. And now Schmeek's coming in. Good stick by Schmeek there. Kind of a scoring chance away, but White Bear still has the puck. He's going to make a move and go in, and Scott just says, disrupt that. Going to fire it in the far corner. Valverde has it. He's going to ring it around. 35 seconds to go on 4-on-4 hockey. Schmeek with it to Scott. Scott's going to try to do a little bank pass up to Valverde. I like the play, just not able to connect on it. Scott did a good job. You saw Valverde cutting middle. Thought he could get that perfect bounce pass. It was very close. But so we have an icing, D-zone face-off, 25 seconds of 4-on-4. And then there'll be 19 seconds left for White Bear. Valverde on the draw. He's out there with Lancette, Hensley, and Wagner. Little slapper right into the glove. Tam freezes it. Oh, we can do that. Next whistle, we'll give a shout out to somebody. So I'll tease everybody until we get it. Paddled down by Tam. Loose puck. Still out front. Puck comes out. Lancette will step up, trying to chip it over the zone, but it stays in. White Bear has it. Wiggs spotting him in the corner. They get it out to the D. He's going to fire it in. Gets deflected by a guy in front of the net. Redirects the puck into the net. Tough one there from this angle to see. I thought that was going to go wide, and it got deflected and went down in. So that's going to be a power play goal for White Bear. So 1-0 White Bear, 4:38. Gabrick reminded me to give a shout out to Trav Anderson. Hopefully he's watching the stream right now. May or may not have had a little injury up skiing up north here this weekend here, Thursday, Friday. So best of luck to Trav healing up. Puck gets in the zone on the stick of Anderson. Gets it over to Fitzgerald. He chips it back to Schmieg, who'll fire it in. Goalie just pushes it aside, back up to Schmieg. He's going to walk center, just chip it in softly. Fitz was getting his stick lifted, so he wasn't able to do anything with it. They're going to do a little cross-ice pass. Schmitz with it. He's going to turn stop, try to chip off the boards. Puck's going to come out. Gets on the stick of Valverde, or Anderson. He loses the handle on it. Pushed away by Williamson. The shot tried to get in. He loses the handle and just kind of got rid of it a little early, and White Bear has it. They're waiting for a guy to get it back off sides. They just chip in the zone. They're going to change. Pass went wide. White Bear has it. He gets turned over. Gabrick has the puck. He's in the zone by himself. Dumps it deep. O'Neill's going to chase and get there first. He's going to lose an edge, go down. Scott has it. He puts it in on O'Neill's stick. He tries to fire it. Gets redirected off a skate. Just not able to get a puck on net on that one. And White Bear now has it. They just chip it out of the zone. O'Neill takes a hit. He says something to him. And now Lansette's going to rush up and chip. White Bear's doing a good job pressuring and hitting right now because they forced Shakopee to get rid of the puck. To get rid of the puck a little earlier, I think, than they want to, because White Bear is playing very physical and stepping up right now. You can see. Well, the net went off the bearings there. It came off. O'Neill gave a little shove to the White Bear guy who ran right into the net. So we're going to have a whistle and have a face-off here in the D zone. 2:48 to go. Draw down. White Bear gets it on their stick. Trying to get a shot, but Lancette did a good job not letting it out. Lancette now has it. He chips up to O'Neill. He's got Valverde and Hema with him. Cross-ice pass to Hema. Hema fires, shoots. Blocker save. Loose puck. Gets on the stick of Lancette. He gives a little backhand slider into the net for a goal. Number 26, Blake Lancette with a goal. Assist. We're going to give O'Neill and Hema on that one. O'Neill passed over to Hema, who shot. Got the rebound. I'm sure there's other sticks in there, but we're going to just give that as the call. And then Lancette got a little backhand. 1-1, 2:30 to go in the first. Good answer for the Sabres. Valverde, Fitzgerald, Hema out there with Wagner and Schmitz. Draw tied up. Hema gets the puck. Gets it over on the stick of Fitzgerald. He loses an edge, goes down. Schmitz tries to step up. Guy got around him. We got a 2-on-1. He's just going to fire Tam right there. I think I've seen it 3 or 4 times now where Diaz stepped up, and White Bear has done a good job escaping it, and it's created some odd man rushes. So if they're stepping up, we either need to step up and commit and hit or disrupt the play. Otherwise, it's kind of giving White Bear some dangerous opportunities here. Draw one by White Bear. They're going to shoot in. Blocker saved by Tam. Schmitz will get to it in the corner. He chips it up to Fitz. Got past him. They waved it off. We're still going. Good job by Wags trying to keep that in the zone. Puck's going to come out. Schmitz will get to it. He'll just chip it out of the zone. Cross-ice pass from Hema over to Fitz. He's going to walk in, get around the first guy, but then he lost the puck. Fitz tried to get hit. He just reversed him. He has the puck. Oh, he tried to center it right to... Let's see what the call is. Maybe the net's off. I think they got here. Actually, kind of an interesting play. Fitz had the puck behind the net. He still, took his stick and pushed the other stick on the ground away, kept the handle, and had Hema right in slot. It just got over his stick. So with the post coming off, we got a whistle with 1:39 to go. We'll have an offensive zone face-off here. Scott Schmieg out there with Anderson, O'Neill, and Hensley. Draw down, Shakopee wins it. O'Neill's going to chip it back on low. Anderson will chase. Out to the top on the stick of Scott. Scott's going to fire it in. Just a little high up into the netting. Hey, Steve. Once the period's over, we're going to do a little interview. I want to hear about this Trav injury. So for those listening, I didn't give the details. I just said, we wish him the best right now. So, all right, puck behind the net. White Bear has it. He gets hit by O'Neill. Then Anderson goes down. And then now there's the call. Unnecessary hit there. So after two guys go down, the third guy that goes down, the arm goes in the air. So there's going to be a tripping penalty on Blake, or is that Hensley? We'll have a trip there. After Schmeek touched the puck, kind of an unnecessary hit to the boards, but nothing called. So 1:11 to go in the first. Sabres are going to be on the kill here for 2 minutes. Gabriel Williamson, Schmeeg, and Scott out there for the Sabres. He rushes in, he shoots, he scores. 7 seconds in, White Bear wins the face-off, walks into the dot, shoots and scores. So that's going to be a quick one for the White Bear, making it 2-1. 1:04 to go in the first. Valverde, Hema, Fitzgerald, Wagner, and Lancette. White Bear wins the draw. They move the puck around. He just loses the handle on it. Valverde dumps it in the zone. Kind of a pop fly. The goalie tried to catch it, but he missed it off the glove. Puck comes out of the zone. Waves over to Lancette. Chips it neutral zone. Hema chips it over to Fitz. Fitz is going to rush in. He turns, redirects, tries to center. Not able to connect on it. Feeds it middle. Shot. Lancette gets blocker aside. Fitz in the corner. Lancette does a good job stepping up. He's going to dump it back in the zone. No forward there for the Sabres. So White Bear is going to be able to go DP, and they're going to get the puck out of the zone. Wiggs, the classic hip check. White Bear is able to keep possession of it. They're going to chip it over to Fitz. Fitz has it. He's going to chip it up to Hema, just not able to connect on it. That's the end of the first period. 2-1 White Bear.
Oh, you really do want to do this?
Yeah.
Hi, Jeff.
Well, here's Steve Gabrick. So you were up north, I think, with a couple of these dads on this team, right?
Yeah, we had a great time up in Lutz in the last few days. Yep, beautiful weather, great skiing, great.
Play. Did Fitz get a high stick to the face?
Elbow.
Oh, okay. By Gabrick here. He goes cross ice with it. Hensley has it. Are we going to have too many men now? So Sabres on the, as they're switching all players coming out off the ice, ref wanted to just put us in the box again for a too many men. So fourth power play for White Bear. They're 3 for 3 here to start this game. Sabres need to stay out of the box. I think we've learned that. Lancette, Hensley, Wagner, Hema. Nobody wants to take the face off. They're all looking at each other. Hensley is going to step up. He'll take it. White Bear wins it out top. They're going to fight her in right away. Tam will freeze that. All right, so sorry, okay, we're back on. So I don't know what whoever's watching, what you missed, what you didn't miss, because obviously we lost some cell service for a bit. But we're back on. There's 11 minutes to go in the second period. White Bears up 3-1. They're currently on a power play right now. Fumbles the puck a little bit there. Hema steps up, tries to battle with them. White Bear keeps possession. They go in the corner. Up top. White Bear very patient with the puck. They're going to fire it here. Good pad save by Tam in the corner. Wade steps up with Lancette. They got trying to get that puck out of the zone. We got a minute 12 still to go here on the kill. They come away with it. Little cross-ice pass. Shot. Good job by Wagner. Stepped up, took that scoring shot away. It just got deflected up into the netting right away. Well, White Bears so far has scored all three of their power play goals in the first about 10 seconds. So we are a minute in. It's a good sign. Sabres will change up the four. Gabrick, Williamson, Schmieg, and Schmitz. Draw comes down, tied up, waits. Smith tries to chip it out of the zone, just thinking enough mustard on it to get out. White Bear moving around up top. They go down a little below the goal line, looking for that cross-ice backdoor pass. Smith disrupts the pass. Now the puck's bouncing around, not able to freeze it. White Bear regains possession. Very patient with it up top. He's going to walk in, shoot. Tam, save. Right in the glove. White Bear's very patient on their power play here, moving the puck around, looking for that pass. Gabrick wins the draw. Schmieg has it. He puts it back behind the goal. Gets out front. No one there. He's able to just get a little one-touch pass for a goal. Won the draw. We had a chance to kind of ring it around, and it fortunately got stuck behind the net. White Bear picked it up and fed a guy sitting right in front of the goalie. Sabres need to regroup here. Stay out of the box. We got 9:47 still to go in the second period. 4-1 White Bear. Hema, Valverde, O'Neill. Out there with Lancette and Scott. Lancette's going to reverse it over to Scott. Scott has it. He loses the handle on it. White Bear tries to make a move around one guy. Lancette did just enough to disrupt it, and then Tam will just freeze it. We'll have a whistle. Valverde takes the draw, comes out clean right towards Tam. Little back pass up to O'Neill. O'Neill to Hema, trying to get through the D. He loses the handle on it. White Bear gets the puck in the neutral zone. They're going to try to walk in. They're just going to dump it into the corner. Lancette will get to it. Trying to flee Hema, not able to get past him. Puck gets loose. O'Neill's going to get to it. O'Neill does a hard stop, passes middle, centering to Hema. The White Bear does get the puck out of the zone. They have it. We're just going to be patient with it. Feed it middle. And we are going to have a penalty on White Bear. Sabres are going to go on the power play. See if we can get some momentum going here. Nine minutes to go in the second. We're going to keep the same five out there. Draw goes down. White Bear's going to win the draw. He's just taking his time skating with it. Tries to chip it. He does chip it out of the zone. Lancette will get to it. Over to Scott. Scott chips it back. Lancette now has speed. Gonna come into the zone. Stop. Try to get set up. Little cross-ice pass to O'Neal. Not able to keep it on the stick. It comes out. He has to chase it. Now he gives it over to Scott. Good centering pass to Valverde, who's going to rush into the zone. Chip it back to Hema. The Sabres will try to get set up on the power play. Fortunately, that one hopped over Scott's stick, and they're going to have to reset. Scott tries to go through two. He does. Gets set up top, chips it to Hema up top. Hema tries to make one move around two guys. He gets through behind, over to Lancette. Lancette back to Hema. Tries to center to Valverde, bouncing puck in the air. Held on to that puck a little too long before he dropped it down to himself. So we got 1 minute to go on the power play. We'll change out all five. Hensley, Anderson, Fitzgerald, Wagner, and Schmitz out there. Draw comes out. Schmitz doesn't try to do a job keeping the zone. He does. Patient with it. He goes down to the half wall to Fitz. Fitz back up to Schmitz. He's going to go to the far corner over to Hensley. Wiggs has it. He gets it down low to Hensley. Hensley centers it to Anderson. We get one shot, two. Got two shots in there. Wiggs came in, crashed the net hard. Goalie froze it, so we'll have 37 seconds to go here in the power play. I like it. We got a little chatty ref with the boys out there. Draw goes down. Into the corner. Anderson, Wagner, and Hensley. We got three guys in the corner there. Shakopee has it. Wiggs with it now up top to Schmitz. Schmitz making too many moves there. He gets the puck stolen there. Boys need to take a lesson from the White Bear and just move the puck. Schmitz comes up and lays a depleter. Just a big hit. But White Bear keeps it in the zone. Schmitz now has it. He's going to go cross-ice pass off the wall to Hensley. He's got Anderson with him. He cuts middle. Makes one move, two moves. Just, again, a little bit too many moves for the Sabres right now. Make the clean, simple pass. A lot of sticks reaching here for it. Puck gets down. Wiggs has it. He's just going to fling it out of the zone. Shakopee. We're going to have an offsides call there. Puck just went in the zone there. Out of the zone, in the zone. So Sabres unsuccessful there on the power play. Would like to see a little bit more puck movement than stick handle, stick handle, stick handle. O'Neal, Gabrick, Williamson out there now with Scott Schmid. We got 6:30 to go in the second. Shakopee wins the draw. Williamson's going to rush into the zone. He's going to try to send it to Gabrick, who shoots. He gets one shot. The puck's still loose. Williamson with it. He's going to put it down low. Gabrick gets to it. Up to O'Neal. Now they're battling the corner. Gabrick shields the puck. He comes out. He chips it up top to Scott. Scott's going to go cross ice to Schmigel. Shoots. Gets redirected. Good save by the netminder for the White Bears. Shakopee had a good opportunity there. Puck's going to come out. I think Gabrick had the redirect there. Almost got in on net. We're going to have a whistle for an offsides. Gabrick draw goes down. White Bear wins it. Going to walk in the zone. Try to toe drag. And a big hit by O'Neal. Now the puck's in the far corner. Battle on the half wall there for it. It gets down below the net. Rings all the way around to O'Neal. Neal avoids a hit, centers it to Williamson, just not able to keep the puck on the stick. And White Bear's going to come away with it. They lose the handle. Scott turns him over. Scott's going to try to make a couple moves to get himself, but we got a little confusion at the blue line there. Gabriel will just dump it in deep. We'll change a few on the fly here. Good stick by Valverde. Puck comes out of the zone, gets on the stick of Williamson. He's going to try to cut middle. He does. Throws into the skates. White Bear has it. It goes down. Valverde puts it down low to Fitz. Fitz below the goal line, makes a nifty move. He chips it up top to Lancette, who's going to fire it in off the crossbar. But we're going to have a high stick, though. Looks like Shakopee played it. Came down, hit the crossbar, so... So we'll have a whistle, and then the face-off will go all the way down to the White Bear zone here. Valverde in the draw. Shakopee wins it. Lancette with it. He's going to chip it off the boards. Just misses the stick of Fitzgerald. Emma tries to chip it back to Wiggs. Wiggs will try to rush up. He gets turned over. Now just battle on the half wall here for it. Puck comes out. Right there, chips it back to their D. Emma got a stick on it, just not able to connect on it. And Shakopee goes cross ice. Fitz is going to center it to Hema. Hema gets poke checked away. Valverde there with. Lancette steps up in the play. He has it on the stick, makes a move, goes below the goal line. Over to Valverde up top to Fitz. Fitz gets a shot in. Pad save. The goalie dives on it. He'll freeze it. We'll have a whistle. We'll change out all five. Oh, shout out to Trav. So for those that didn't hear earlier, because our interview got, maybe I believe didn't get recorded or not with Gabriel, but Trav is released from the hospital. So he's good. He's out. White Bear chips it out of the zone. Schmieg will get to it. He tries to tap it up to Schmitz, but lost the handle. White Bear has it in the zone. Turned over. O'Neal with it, but he's by himself right now. He gets poke checked, gets around the first guy. He's behind the goal line. Gets it out to Hensley. Hensley shoots just wide of the net. Good opportunity there. White Bear tries to go cross-ice pass with it. They lose the handle. Hensley disrupts the play. O'Neal's going to chase her on the half wall. He'll get to it. Chip it down to Schmieg. White Bear turns this over. They get the puck out front now. It's kind of loose. Gets on the stick of Hensley, and Hensley's now looking to rush. He goes cross-ice. Try to get it to O'Neal. White Bear just chips it out of the zone. They're going to make a move. Gets around Schmieg. He's going to go in, shoots, scores. Good entry into the zone with speed for White Bear. Was able to get around the defenseman and got a goal. 5-1 White Bear. All right, Fitzgerald, Williamson, Gabrick out there with Scott and Lancette. Turned over in the neutral zone. Lancette with it. He rings it around, just not able to connect on Scott's stick. Lancette centers it up to Williamson, but it gets on Gabrick's stick. A little 3-on-2 opportunity. Gabrick, nifty move around the first guy. Then he gets poke checked off the puck. White Bear tries to chip out of the zone, but kept in by Lancette. He's going to chip it up, and a little 2-on-1 opportunity for White Bear. Scott steps up, takes the shot away. little cross ice pass didn't go through. Try to go back door, not able to connect on it. White Bear still has it. Pressure by Williamson. Puck's going to go into the far corner. Lancette will chase. Gabriel coming to help. Gabriel chips it out to Lancette, out to Fitz. Fitz looking to center it. He does. To Williamson. He's just going to fire it in low to get a little rebound. Gabriel with it. He centers it. Paddled aside by the goalie into the far wall. And Lancette's just going to chip it back in. Gabriel battling below the goal line here. Williamson comes into assist. Tries to chip it out. Looking at, he reverses the puck around the goal line. Scott with it. Fires it. Pad save. No one there for the rebound. And White Bear's just going to chip it out of the zone. Ice is a little dirty, so I don't think it's going to make it all the way. Scott's going to rush to it. Scott's going to walk it up himself right now. Chips up to Lancette. He stops. Tries to make a move and dump it in deep, and White Bear has it. They're going to chip it out and have their own rush now. He goes below the goal line. He's still skating with it. Still has the puck. He's going to try to throw it back in. Valverde steps up, not able to connect on it. O'Neill up to Hema. Hema got dispossessed right away by the White Bear guy. Puck's going to come out into the neutral zone. Wags with it now. Up to O'Neill. But we're going to have two Shakopee guys just weren't able to get out of the zone. So we'll have a whistle for an offsides. Sabres just struggling to connect on some of the passing right now, just to create some clean opportunities for either shots or just to open up the ice right now. 30 seconds to go in the second period. Draw down, comes out. Everyone's stick battling for it here in the neutral zone. We'll see who comes away with it. White Bear does. Smithson O'Neill stepped up there, gets on the stick of Wags. He'll chip it out of the zone. We're down to 10 seconds to go in the second. Hema gets a stick on it. Waves has it. He'll chip it in deep. And that should end the second period. Ref comes in, a little pushing and shoving. You saw an arm up?
16 got called for crossing, yeah.
All right. Well, it looks like we're going to have a cross check on White Bear. So we're going to finish the second period with a penalty on White Bear after the whistle. So the Sabres will start the third with a 2-minute power play. See you in 15. All right, after 15 minutes to breathe, relax, have an applesauce packet or two, clean the ice. We got the third period. Let's see if the Sabres can put something together here for 15 minutes to build some momentum here into our district playoffs coming up. They will start out on the power play. I'm surprised we haven't had a puck hit the ceiling yet. For how low the ceiling is, just chipping the puck out of the zone, we haven't had one yet, so we'll see if I jinxed it. But O'Neill, Lancet, Gabrick, Scott, and Hema will be the power play unit for the Sabres. Gabrick wins it clean, but it goes all the way down into the zone, and White Bear will get to it first. They're going to try to just chip it out of the zone. Big hit. O'Neill goes down, and Scott comes in and says, "Get off my teammate," and lays a big hit. Sabres have possession. Scott with it. Makes a little spinorama move, goes around one guy, second guy. We learned from the last power play, we need to move the puck and not stick handle too much, because they've been pressuring us. A little turnover by the Sabres, and now White Bear's got a rush. 2-on-1. He gets around O'Neill, not able to get a shot off. Scott comes in, delivers a hit. Gabrick's going to skate by it. Lancet has it, and White Bear chips it back into the zone. They're obviously looking to just kill time right now. He's going to skate out of the zone, patient with it. O'Neill does a good job pressuring. He's going to chip it back in the zone. Sabres have struggled to get this power play set up here now. 2 different times. Wiggs takes a big hit. Now this game's getting a little physical right now. White Bear's going to go on the rush. Again, White Bear is short-handed right now. Puck comes out. Fitz has it, chips it up to Gabrick. Gabrick makes a move around one guy. He's got his back checker on him. He tries to put it, center it back on ice. Fitz not able to get it. And now White Bear with it. Gets on the stick of Fitz, out to Schmitz. Schmitz is going to fire, shoot, and that's a goal for the Sabres! Power play goal for number 2, Owen Schmitz. Assist to 71, Wyatt Gabriel. And the Sabres have some life. They start the third period out with a power play goal. Schmitz from Gabriel. Goalie, I think, was a little bit screened on that one, so wasn't able to see it. So 5-2, White Bear with the lead. Draw down, won by White Bear. They're going to try to chip the zone. Schmitz will step up and get a stick on it. He's battling with the guy. Valverde chips it out of the zone. We're just going to sit here on the wall here and battle for the puck. Valverde's going to go cross ice up to Williamson. Puck's going to stay in the zone. Valverde will step up. He's in the corner. He stops, turns, tries to center it up top to Wagner, just not able to connect. So Sabres will have to get regrouped. Schmitz with it behind the net. He's going to chip it back to Wiggs. Wiggs will stop. Up to Williamson. Schmitz up to Fitz, who just will chip it. It's going to go all the way down the zone. Sabres not able to really get out of the zone clean there. They kind of got stuck going back and forth and unfortunately iced it. So we'll have a whistle. We'll change out all 5. Schmieg and Scott out there with O'Neill, Hensley, and Anderson. Draw one by the Sabres. Scott with it behind the net. Off the wall up to Hensley. Puck's going to come away to Scott's stick. Scott's going to rush up himself. He had Anderson with him, just not able to connect. And White Bear now has possession. They're going to throw middle. Hensley's going to come up and give a hit. right to the head, and the ref saw that the whole way. Unfortunately, the kid was short enough that Hensley's hands were nowhere else to be but the head. I feel like the ref's arm was going up before that hit even happened. All right, so Sabres are in the box for the 5th time. Schmeek, Scott, O'Neill, Hema. White Bear wins it. Patient with it. He's going to try to center up the middle, but Scott got a stick on it to redirect the pass. White Bear doing a good job just moving the puck. Good pressure by Hema, and he's going to come away with a breakaway. He's got speed. As Hema comes out, he shoots. He scores! Short-handed goal for 91, Easton Hema. Just a little pressure right at the blue line, turns him over. The same corner Smith scored in. Hema buries it. And we have a 5-3 game. Sabres are back in it with 11:30 to go in the 3rd. Still got a minute and a half of a penalty kill. Gabrick, Fitzgerald, Schmeek, and Scott. Viper wins the draw. They're going to throw it all the way back into their zone, go behind their own net here. Puck gets loose. Scott has it, makes a move up to Fitz. Fitz is going to try to chip in the zone. It goes off the ref. Sabres doing a good job pressuring here. Scott with it. He keeps the handle on it. Chips it around over to Schmeeg. Schmeeg tries to throw it out, but it gets on the stick of a White Bear defenseman. He shoots it. Puck's loose in the slot. Sabres do a good job getting the puck out. White Bear's going to try to regroup. Gabrick was just out of gas there. He chipped it down in the zone. And we'll change a few out here. Lancette, Wagner out there now with Valverde. 35 seconds to go on the kill. We'll have a high stick here, so we'll have an offensive zone face-off for White Bear. Lancette sticked it down out of the air. Shakopee touched it first. So there's their whistle. 30 seconds to go out in the kill. Draw one by the Sabres. Lancette will get to it behind the net. Gets it over to Wiggs. Wiggs does a good job staying with it. He fanned on the first hit. Wiggs takes a high hit, no call. Lancette steps up. He loses an edge, and now White Bear's got a 2-1. He goes wide. Tries to do a little cross-ice pass back door. Doesn't connect on it. And the Sabres just got a little careless with the puck behind the net. 3 guys all looked at each other and didn't know who was going to go get it. White Bear gets it, and they shoot and score. Tough one for the Sabres there, and it gives White Bear their 5th power play goal of the game. Just a little miscommunication. So it's 6-3, 10 minutes to go in the game. Shakopee wins the draw. Schmitz and Schmeeg out there now with Williamson, Anderson, and O'Neill. Sabres are going to ice it, so they're going to come down here in the D zone. Draw down. Gets out front. O'Neill will go get it. He stops. He loses an edge. He's in the corner. He comes to help. Just fumbling the puck behind the net. Luckily, O'Neill comes in to clean that up. The Sabres are struggling to get that puck out of the zone. And there's a trip on White Bear. So Sabres are going to go on the power play now. They just didn't give up. See if the Sabres can convert again. All right, power play unit for the Sabres. Schmieg, O'Neill, Gabriel, Schmitz, and Hema. They're going to throw out O'Neill. We'll have to change out our center. Schmieg comes in, takes the draw. White Bear is going to win it. They're going to try to ring it around, but Schmitz will step up. He chips it back in the zone. Sabres have it. They have possession. Schmitz fumbles with it. Throw it. They're just throwing the puck around behind the net. Now they get it out to on the half wall to O'Neill. O'Neill back low to Schmieg. Out top to Hema. Shoots, fires, loose puck. White Bear's going to come away with it. They're going to go cross ice with it off the wall. The White Bear's going to dump it down in the zone. Shakopee will chase. Schmitz tries to just tap it up to Hema. Again, the Sabres are just not communicating well here. So Schmitz now with it behind the net. He waits, chips it over to O'Neill. O'Neill's going to rush it in the zone himself. He's going to go bring it around to Gabriel. Back pass down to O'Neill. O'Neill up top over to Schmitz. He catches it off the stick. He's going to fire a shoot wide. 45 seconds to go. Hema with it. Goes cross ice. Schmitz now with it. Oh, to Schmieg. White Bear will get to it. And they're going to chip. To pass the puck below the goal line out here. Out the side of the net. Stays in the zone. O'Neill with it. O'Neill down low to Schmieg. Up to O'Neill. Down back below the goal line. Schmieg's going to skate with it. Try to throw it out, but he gets turned over. We're going to have an ice. The Sabres need to move the puck on the power play. They're holding too long right now and allowing the White Bear to basically get man on man. They looked a little out of position because they sat below the goal line most of that power play, moving the puck around. So nothing comes of it. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey, 7.5 to go. Fitzgerald, Valverde out there with Lancette, Scott, and Hensley. Lancette tries to step up. Puck comes out. White Bear will chase it and get to it first. He'll fire it wide of the net and bring it around. White Bear holds the zone. Scott's going to come away with it. Try to chip it up. Fitz didn't see it. They're going to center it here. Puck never got on net. Just good back check there by Hensley and Valverde. But White Bear keeps the puck. He's going to cycle. Try to go back door. Not able to connect on it. Shakopee's chasing here right now. Throws it back to the guy on the dot. He's just going to fire it. Pad save by Tam. White Bear holds the zone. They're going to dump it down in. Lancette will get to it. He's going to go cross ice here. Unfortunately, Hensley was changing on that one, so we didn't have a forward there. Now White Bear's going to have a one-on-one opportunity with Scott. He's going to fire shoot. Tam saves it, but the puck just sits out front. It's loose, and White Bear's going to come away with it. Puck gets blockered aside into the corner. Got a 2-on-1 opportunity. Williamson and Anderson. Patient with it. He looked to pass it over to Anderson, but the defenseman for White Bear just got a stick in the passing lane and denied it. The goalie will freeze it. Hensley getting checked out there behind the bench. He got some sort of injury happened there. They got a few looking at him. Hopefully he's all right. Sabres with it. Wags up top. Tries to fire it into the far corner. Nobody else there, so they'll chip it out. Smith will glove it. Put it down. Try to chip it out. Not able to. Oh, that's Gabrick on the chase. Gabrick gets the puck. He flips it over the glass, and Gabrick scores! Sorry, that was Steve just chipping the puck back into the field. Or not the field, but back onto the ice. Good job, Steve. Steve, you're gonna want to go back and listen to the play-by-play on that. Good. Okay. Gabrick wins the draw. Schmidt's with it. He's gonna ring it out. He gets it up to O'Neill. O'Neill and Hema with it. Oh, Hema's gonna come away with the puck. Ref's not having something. We're getting a little breakaway opportunity with Hema. I'm guessing just behind the play, O'Neill and another White Bear guy were pushing and shoving or doing something. And nope, it's just O'Neill. I guess they went to blowing the whistle if it was coincidental. I didn't even see what happened. Emily, what happened? Didn't see it? I didn't either. Okay. All right. So O'Neill's going to go in the box. Yeah, we guys will work on the kill. Schmieg, Hema, Scott, and Gabrick. Two guys chase up high. Good stick by Gabrick, just enough to deflect it, but White Bear holds the zone. Gabrick does just enough to get it out. White Bear looks to regroup here, patient with it right at the blue line. Down to Scott. Scott with it. He's going to chip it up to Hema. We do have Hema loose. See if he can make a move. He's at the top of the circle. He's waiting for a teammate to come down. He's just going to chip it all the way back to Schmieg, try to burn part of this penalty kill. Scott with it. He's going to rush. Hema's trying to get loose again, but they're turned over by White Bear. He makes one nifty move. Gets a backhand. Good slide over from Tam there to deny that one. He froze it. So we got 1:15 to go here in this penalty kill. Draw tied up by Valverde. White Bear's going to walk up, get a slapper on it. Jack tried to freeze that one with the glove. It came out, but he was able to slide over and deny the rebound shot. Sabres will ice it. We'll have a face-off here down in the D zone. Hensley's still getting looked at there, so I'm not sure what happened down there. Draw down, tied up. Wiggs pushes it in the corner, but White Bear will come away with possession. Moving the puck, Wiggs will chase. They ring it around. Up top, moving the puck well, cycling, skating in, shot, glove save. All right, 36 seconds to go. We're gonna change out two forwards here. Anderson and Williamson out there now. Draw one by the Sabres. Lancette will chip it out. Anderson will chase. He's gonna held the puck just a little too long, and we're gonna have an offsides whistle. 20 seconds to go on the kill. Let's see if the Sabres can kill one of these. Anderson and Williamson stay. We'll change out Schmieg and Schmitz now on D. Draw comes back. Anderson to Schmitz. Schmitz will tap it out of the zone. He loses the handle on him. Anderson chases, gets a little bit of a turnover opportunity, but unfortunately Schmid couldn't walk in the zone because Anderson was in. He had to stop, gets up to Schmitz, and he'll gain the center ice, and he'll dump it in. And the Sabres do successfully kill that power play. Successful kill for the Sabres. O'Neill comes in hot out of the box, takes a big hit. Smith's trying to hold the zone. He's got him and O'Neill. And we're back to battling on the half wall. Puck guy wasn't in the net, so something scored. It was a white bear player, not the puck. So we got 3 minutes to go in the third, 6-3. Emma, Gabrick, Fitzgerald out there with Schmid and Schmitz. Draw comes down, tied up. Sabres come away with it. They center it. Fitz to Hema, who got a good scoring opportunity. Blocker to side by the goalie. Here comes here. Try to center it. Puck's out front. Schmitz gets a stick on it. He's going to try to chip it over. Hema gets it out of the zone. He's going to try to go off the wall, but it on the bench. Zone face off here. Out the D. So Lansette's got to come out. 2:30 to go. Shakopee wins the draw. T to D over to Lansette. Lansette's going to gain center ice and try to chip it deep in the zone. Not able to. Scott's going to sauce up to Fitz. Fitz steps up. Number 2 for White Bear had no intention of going for the puck. He wanted to hit. Gabrick does a little pass up to Hema. Good step up for White Bear there to just get that puck disrupted. And now they have it down by the dot, try to center it, not able to connect. They're going to chip it down low. Gabrick will get to it. Chip it off to Fitz. Fitz centers it up to Hema. He's going to have to bring it back into our own zone here. 1:45 to go. White Bear doing a good job just possessing the puck right now. Scott gets it up to Valverde. He's going to chip it up to Hema. Hema has it. He's going to chip middle. Fitz fortunately was leaving to the bench. Lansette steps up, gets it, shoots. Blocker to side. Still loose puck. Goes in the corner. White Bear comes away with it. High off the glass. Arm in the air, so we will have a icing. 1:16 to go in the third. Valverde, Williamson, O'Neill, Schmitz, and Wagner. Draw down, tied up, won by the Sabres. Wags has it. He throws it into the far corner. Shakopee will chase. Schmitz holds the zone. Goes back down in. Oh, Shakopee player lost an edge. We're going right into the boards and hit it hard. Williamson looks like he's okay. So White Bear's got a little bit of a rush. Schmitz does a good job getting a stick on that to disrupt the play. And now he has the puck himself. Williamson wants it. He's back. Wiggs is now going to rush here, try to go through one. Schmitz will come up and get to the puck. He's going to fire, shoot it middle. Down to O'Neill. He centers it, loose puck up front. Gets pushed aside. Schmitz out top, dealt to Anderson, who shot in the far corner. We're down to 15 seconds to go. Puck gets out on the neutral zone. Anderson with it. He makes a move around one guy. He's going to fire in. Paddle save. We're down to 2 seconds left. They got to rush. And that will end the game. Sabres will lose this one 6-3. So we have a game Tuesday, I believe, at 6:45. Gonna get the phone out. So if anybody is actually listening right now still, I'm gonna tell you. So Sabres first district playoff game against Edina, 6:45 p.m. at Eden Prairie on Tuesday. And it's a double elimination bracket play. 4 teams in it. 1 advances to the regions. So, signing off from White Bear.